Hey guys, we're gonna do a reading. It's early in the morning. I woke up early. I actually woke up and I think it's the bewitching hour. What time is it for me? Oh yeah, it's 3:09, bewitching hour. Hey, that's when the reads come in good. Okay? If you do them about 3 in the morning, we get the good magical stuff here. Okay, it's really good stuff. But what we're, obviously, and I've got a couple videos up, but, the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing is very huge. It's, and there's so many YouTubes, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew as soon as I saw that, I went, this is going to be, pretty big. And there's a couple things I want to talk about, maybe, on this channel, a couple reads I'm going to do on this, and then I'm going to kind of go on and let kind of things go as they will. Some things from a different angle, though, and I know some readers have been reading on it and everything, and there's been a whole lot of talk, and I want to kind of let Spirit do the talking on it, because I think it's something that really has come into the open, especially the dynamic of relationships. And Will Smith is such a big public figure, obviously heavily loved by many. Many have a lot of feels about his relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith. A lot of feels. And I have feels, so we all got an opinion. We all got an opinion and stuff. So we're going to try to talk about that. And one of the things, and this is why I'm going to kind of try to look at a deeper dynamic, what's going on here. But, a lot of people are saying that some have even called Will Smith a narcissist, though I don't find that as often. Some have been saying that, what do you got getting up there, stopping and being like this, being all, that was maybe it was a narcissistic move, but I don't necessarily feel he falls in the category of the narcissist. But Jada, when we get into that category, there's a lot of people who are just, it's just fire in the eyes, when they think of her. Men and women, okay? Definitely a lot of men, okay? Definitely a lot of men. African-American men, I watch a lot of YouTubes, and they have some very powerful opinions on her and the way she's done, Will Smith in the media, over the last couple of years, ever since the affair came out. Now, by the way, if you dig into my current events, if you go into the things, you will have to dig. But I did, when that affair came out, right before she had gone on and admitted the validity of the affair with the August or whatever his name is, I did do a read on it, right when the whispers were kind of happening, but it hadn't been validated yet. So the reading was basically, did this affair happen? What's going on? I did that. It has to be a couple of years ago now. Whenever that came out, I read it right before she came out and admitted what was going on. And of course, then the Red Talk, or Red Table Talk, whatever, with Will Smith, the entanglement, which that word, got it's almost like I'm helpless to why, there's something about saying the word entanglement that is very, it's almost like I'm trying to take blame off myself. I couldn't help myself. I could, something, but, very strong opinions. So we're going to look at a little bit of the dynamic of the relationship I want to look at. This is the thing that I'm asking the Spirit here, is what is the real reason that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock when he made the joke? What's the real reason? Now, I feel that the majority of us are on board now that it wasn't staged. Now, let's just, for anybody who questions it, and I did do a read, and Spirit seemed to confirm that he wanted a little justice. Okay, that was in the very first video. Let me take a sip here before I do that. I want you to think of something here. For those who are questioning and think this could be staged, I'm going to use some left brain logic with you. Okay, imagine you're Will Smith. Ever since you're a teenager, you set your side. First, you want to be a rapper, but then you got even, I want to be an actor. Okay, and let me turn down the heat because I'm going to get heated up here. And then I'll get, okay, there we go. Feel better now. And you got focused that this is what you want to do. Now, apparently he been approved to go to school for MIT. He is an intelligent person. This is somebody who could have been a scientist. Okay, could have been, scientist, mathematician, engineer, whatever. Okay, but he had been approved to go to MIT. Turned that down to pursue acting, which I'm sure his mom was like, have you lost your mind? But you know, and we all know he's a very determined, hardworking person. We got it. When he sets his goal on something, he goes for it. He goes all in. And we've seen him over the years just get better and better with his acting and his roles. You know, he was real fun and comedian in Fresh Prince, but you know, his real serious roles, he's done so many, it's bang, bang, bang. He's also done great action movies that were real fun and everything, and people could look up to him. You know, there's like, you know, there's little boys looking up to him. Okay, so you've worked all these years, and if I kind of look back as he's my age, I mean, he's been doing this. What has he been doing this about 35 plus? You know, over 30 years. Okay, a few decades in the mix here. He's put his heart and soul, you know, to really prove himself and be the best he can be and accomplish, you know, as much as possible. You know, the money, you know, obviously, he's got plenty of money. He's got that success. He's got a lot of people who really look up to him. And then, of course, over the last couple of years, the problems in the marriage really start crunching and crunching. You know, that's one area I'm successful in this. I'm loved here. I'm loved there. Everybody, you know, but just my marriage. You know, that's got to be a hard blow. But anyway, okay, but you have worked at your career for 30 plus years to become who you are. You know, just to be loved and respected in everything. Okay. Just to have a staged thing that somebody comes up to you and says, hey, by the way, I got a great idea to make the Oscars more popular. Our ratings are down. Will you do us a favor, Will? Okay, come on. Do you really? Okay, think about it. Okay, or for whatever other stage regions in, Illuminati, or whatever people are saying, you know, humiliation ritual. Okay, that he's going to take 30 plus, you know, a lifetime for some people, you know, and blow it on that. Throw it all away. Okay? Throw it all away for something to up ratings of the Oscars, or, you know, get people talking about us in the media. Be a distraction from Ukraine, you know, all this stuff that, you know, people are, you know, that can say things. Do you think he'd really throw it all away for some stupid crap like that if someone asked him to? Of course not. Come on, guys. Let's be realistic here. Would you, if you had worked so hard and you would just throw it all away? I feel it's actually very fitting what happened. What Denzel said is very prophetic. You know, when you're at your highest point, you know, that's when the devil comes for you. Okay, that I feel. Yeah, and as a spiritualist, I do recognize that there are moments, we all know as spiritualists, if you are on a spiritual path and you have been studying and you're even examining your own walk, that there are times you will be tested. Okay, and you could say, though, I will say that somewhere in that moment, in that night, there was a test. That was Will's test. Absolutely, I would say so. But not from the elites, not from the deep state, not from the Illuminati, okay? All right, but more of a spiritual level here. Okay, this was a test. I will acknowledge that. Okay, I can feel that in my bones, because even when Denzel makes that statement to him, and he was so, you know, profound with that, I'm like, oh God, yes. You know, and it would have been nicer if Denzel would have told him that before the slap. Okay, it would maybe it would have been burned in Will Smith's mind. Oh my God, I remember what Denzel said. I better just sit here, and I know she's looking at me crazy. Okay, but I'm just gonna sit here and just kind of. But what I feel, you know, and we're gonna kind of talk about this, is what I kind of feel, is that slap was more of, this is what happens. You know, the last 2 years, he's been getting dragged, okay, about not, you know, being manly, you know, standing up to Jada, you know, letting her, you know, just kind of talk bad about him, walk all over him, which she kind of has. You know, she kind of has. You know, he's a public figure, very loved, and she's just kind of, you know, she's having affairs, and she's getting caught, and then she's on this table talk, and it's almost like she's kind of blaming him. I wasn't happy. You know, well, then leave. Okay, you know, if you're not happy, leave. You know, I was, this is one thing that kind of disturbed me. I was, I watched quite a few things on this, but apparently, her 40th birthday, apparently Will Smith planned for a few years in advance her birthday party. He wanted to give her a beautiful birthday party. He planned a whole thing and everything. He did this whole film thing, almost like a documentary tribute of her life, and invited people and everything to celebrate her 40th birthday. And apparently when all was said and done, the party was over, she completely bashed him and said that was just a huge display of ego. And, that kind of, she was disgusted by it. And I thought that had to hurt. This is like, I love this woman. I want to do something special. I feel like he's always trying to win her love. He's always trying to win her love, her affection, and her respect. But just imagine you spent 3 years trying to put on the most amazing birthday party, show your love, affection for someone and everything. And, and then somebody tells, that was just your ego that you did that. And just is all disgusted by what you did. And so, yeah, that's something we got to think about there, with Jada. So there's some things wrong there. I mean, I know and I talked about it in my read from a couple years ago. I know there was a very special connection with Tupac. I acknowledge that. I know that's a big thing with her. And with that, I issue no blame for the woman. Okay, because I understand a spiritual connection is what it is. And when you have a spiritual connection with someone, a deep soulmate connection like that, okay, for them to leave, die, whatever, it's going to cause a lot of pain. Especially, if that was her twin flame, it's a possibility. But a connection like that on a deeper level, those can be very painful. If that's where her heart has always been, sometimes we can't control our heart. Maybe she tried to love, maybe she tried to do this, that, but still, there's also some kinds of punishment here, that's been going on in this relationship and everything. It's just like, and so here we go. We've got all this, the affairs, the this, the that, and everything. Will Smith getting dragged, people talking about his manhood, other men, other African American men, and just all kinds of people. Really, women even, just everybody kind of talk about his manhood, making memes of him, making jokes of him. And then Chris Rock makes the comment about Jada. And he laughed at first, okay? He's in good spirits. He's, looking like he's going to get an Academy Award. But when that camera moves, something happened. He either saw the look, and he probably was like, whatever reason, I have to do something here. I'm going to be back on Red Table Talk. You laughed at me. You laughed. Whatever. Somebody, and what I feel is it's almost a couple, well, maybe more years than that, but especially of the last couple of years of humiliation he has been experiencing in the media because of the affairs and the various things. That it was almost like, I really would almost say, no, it's not about Jada. It's all about him and really his image. Okay? In that respect, you can only blame Jada so much, guys. I know she's affected him and mentally and this and that, but there was a point he's like, I got to save face because for the last 2 years, I have been dragged, humiliated, this, that. It wasn't just about Jada. It was about trying to get back his manhood. I mean, that's what I kind of feel, that he was trying to get back his manhood. He was trying to get back his respect because people have been disrespecting him for so long and stuff that, by, doing all this, very reactive, very split second, but also a lot of heat, just, anger. It wasn't just anger at Chris Rock. It was anger at the whole shebang. Okay. And that's what the slap was about. It was much, much more than that. Okay. And poor Chris Rock took the brunt of it. I'm going to be doing another video on that about some things that I've got the feels on. I want to take a look at. I'm not sure how at all, but how is Chris Rock really going to respond to all this? Okay, because this is a big thing for him too. Okay, we'll talk about him in the next video. But we're going to kind of look at it. Let's look at that, the dynamics of what's going on. That's kind of what I feel he did. But let's look at what Spirit has to kind of say about, Will and Jada and so forth. And I know I know some people are like, who cares anymore? You're going to be exhausted by these. But, this is kind of an area some people want to look at, what's going on, and the question's kind of, I'm looking at there. We finally got adjusted. Is she a narcissist? Okay. We'll kind of look at that. Is she actually a narcissist? We'll kind of look at that dynamic, and I'm not sure if I'm ready for that yet, because I kind of almost feel that this is two broken people who came together. They're both a little broken and things like that. It's really, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. So let's go ahead and kind of see what's going on, what Spirit has to say. And I was just hearing from the Spirit, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. I think that's a little bit what happened with Jada. Okay, it kind of is. For whatever reason, her and Tupac did not get together, could not be together. And so she loved the one she was with. And maybe that's been the problem. Okay, and I've kind of felt that, But, not to be, for Tupac fans, don't beat me up on this, but he has been passed for a very long time. And there is a certain point that Jada has to kind of accept things as they are and heal and focus on the here and now. Okay, trying to say it very kindly and stuff like that. But, I feel like Will has tried all kinds of things. Apparently she didn't like the home they bought. She criticized that. She didn't like the home. She didn't want to do a wedding the way he wanted to. He wanted to do a big old thing, and just all kinds of stuff. She doesn't, he tries to put a lot of effort, show his love in extraordinary ways, and she's never happy with it. It's kind of disturbing. Okay, but we'll kind of see. And we will look. That's kind of my feel of what the slap was really about. Okay. But we'll see if Spirit has any other thing to kind of put in and stuff like that. So, it's kind of a delicate situation. Yeah, there you go. 4 of Wands reversed. Okay, so we've got the instability. As you can see, kind of, the people there, the family, and one thing, of course, with Will Smith, let me put that up a little bit higher for you. Having a good, stable relationship. He really believes in marriage. I mean, if he's still there after all this, obviously he's a special person. Okay, because a lot of people wouldn't put up with this. But he's determined in the long haul. He's kind of said, no matter what, I will not leave her. Okay, for whatever reason, he will not, and so forth. So right now, the opposing card is the 4 of Swords in the reverse. Now, the 4 of Swords can be very much kind of contemplating your next move, laying low, things like that. And then the reversal is to get up and take action. Okay, it is reversed. It is the opposing. And one of the things we know, Will Smith is kind of taking it, laid low, on these issues and so forth. And then just, he got up and took action, okay, with Chris Rock and everything. But what's it about? What's it about here? 7 of Wands. I'm going to stand up for my woman. That's what he's saying. Okay, that kind of what he did. This is what it is. Stand up, stand your ground, and everything, defend. That's what he did, right? 7 of Wands, absolutely perfect card. Perfect card, but with a price, right? And stuff. We got the High Priestess kind of sitting there. A lot of secrets have come out over the last couple of years. The High Priestess, for me, can represent secrets. And he definitely, there's a lot of things I feel he did want to keep out of the public eye. Image is very important to him, okay? Any celebrity it is. Come on, he's human. All right? He doesn't want all his dirt out for everybody so everybody can make fun of him and his family and stuff. So, he I feel for the most part, those details he wanted to be private about. But Jada, she likes to get out there and talk about it, for in front of everybody to see and so forth. And he suffered a lot of heartache because of it. Okay, 3 of Swords. This is a wounded man. No excuse to go hit Chris Rock, though. I'm telling you, that's just my feels. Okay, the joke, whatever. Comedians make jokes. They roast, they do this. I have heard way worse jokes about people than that. I've heard, if you've ever watched any of these roasting shows, where they will just say, oh my God. And, and Jada, I mean, she's a beautiful woman. Is she really that offended? She's far from ugly, guys. Okay, she's a very beautiful woman, hair or no hair. She has always been attractive. Okay, she should not be, but I know alopecia, sensitive, all that. But slapped in at the Academy. Okay, very prestigious award show. This is crazy. Okay, so let's kind of go ahead and look at that. But yeah, this is what I was kind of feeling there. Okay, the magician in the reverse position. I feel it was not staged, but I feel some of this was for show to show his manhood. Okay, he's trying to redeem himself as a tough guy. And for some people it worked. Now I want you to kind of look at the Chariot. And we do see a beautiful African-American woman here. Okay, so I know she has hair, but I do believe this card is to put the focus of the area as Jada. Okay, and it is in the reverse position, the Chariot. Okay, which the Chariot can be very much about victory and success going forward and all that good stuff and everything. And this was Will Smith's night for his victory. Okay, this was the Oscars was his night and stuff, but because of it does seem to be implying some deeper issues surrounding the woman that everybody's talking about. It just all went south and sour. He reacted. He heavily overreacted, way over the top reaction, and so forth and everything. And then we've got the Eight of Wands and everything, and it did happen very fast and things, and he should have slowed down his reactions, I feel, is what the Eight of Wands is saying. Eight of Wands actually came up in my first read too, that it was just like that. He should have slowed down. Absolutely. Too late. Too little, too late and stuff. Yeah, but Seven of Cups we've got there. Looking at it and so forth, the Seven of Cups can be about, choices and everything. And really a lot of these, Will has achieved of these cups. I feel beauty, even, Jada is very beautiful, but he hasn't quite got the love that, he wanted from her. But being able to marry her, he's got the wealth, represented the jewels of wealth. He even got some power, respect and prestige and all that, but, this is the time for him to really kind of, I feel he needs to kind of focus on the self, the true self, get to the healing and so forth. But, it's just like I've said before, you can't heal in the same environment that makes you sick. If you watch my first video, the card I got for the slap was justice reversed. It comes up again, guys. The punishment did not fit the crime. Okay? I know some of you are very like, wow, that's great. He protected his woman. Okay? No. Okay, this is not, the punishment did not fit the crime. Chris Rock, he is a comedian and stuff. And he still was man enough to apologize, for the joke. He did do that. He wanted to be manly and still apologize for, for all that, I'm in poor taste, this, that, whatever, but he did not deserve to be hit. Okay. This is something that should have been taken backstage. Okay. Talked about man to man, instead of trying to humiliate him or make me look like the bigger, better man than you and things like that. Trying to make Chris look like the bad guy, and stuff. So, but there it is. Once again, justice reversed. And right now, Will Smith is afraid of being put out in the cold. After all this, the Academy, will they take his Oscar? I've done a reading on that. What I said is they would, unless he apologizes. If he apologizes, then he has a chance of keeping the Oscar. It does. I'm not saying it secures it, but it's definitely it's up there that it could be. But I did say if Will Smith did not apologize, and I felt he would, but if for some reason I was wrong with that and he never apologized to Chris, that Oscar is gone, hands down. So he has a shot at keeping it, but I do feel something big could happen. In other words, he might not be able to ever, stand up there and give awards for other people, whatever they call that, and or maybe even be invited back at all or ever be nominated again. That is some possible. Something's going to happen. He will face some kind of repercussions there for sure. But let's go ahead and we want to talk about him and Jada. Where does this all? Yeah, and we got this card for him before, the King of Pentacles. I feel overall though a lot of it, Will Smith is going to have to spend some years redeeming himself. I know some people said he may not ever work again. I don't believe that. Okay, I don't believe that. There may be some people who may not want to work with him, but one of the things you got to understand is he's got enough money he can finance his own films. That's where you see some actors, sometimes they're executive producers and things like that. If he wants to make films, he can make them himself. Okay, he doesn't necessarily need anybody to finance him. Okay, and then he could get all the profit and stuff being the producer. So that's not a problem. Okay, for that, if he wants to make films. And that was even one of the things I was kind of looking at, is that I feel that Will Smith can still make money making movies. I don't think that's a problem. He's still a good enough actor, and people know people will pay for his films. Okay, so, but the King of Pentacles, okay, he does have to establish himself again. Let's talk a little bit, though, okay, but a lot of it shadows around, right here, honey, Jada, that relationship, how could he go on with all this, stuff going on here. Now, this is called the Hidden Truth Oracle, new deck I've got. This kind of talks about some feelings, okay, that people have. So we're going to kind of look and see what it says. So first we're going to let's focus on Will's feelings. Let's focus on Will's feelings about Jada. It's a very interesting deck. It's supposed to talk about how he kind of feels. So as if I was communicating with his higher self. My life is not as together as it seems. Okay, so this is supposed to be kind of Will Smith. If I'm communicating with his higher self and I'm kind of tuning in, I know. And see, that's the thing. If we would have stepped back a couple years ago, before the table talk, before all the bullshit, okay, we would look like this guy's he's got just roll after roll. And once in a while he does a dud. He did that, what was it, After Earth or whatever with his son. But the majority of them have been good. Even Jada producing the Karate Kid, the other Karate Kid, Next Karate Kid or whatever. That, was, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought Jaden was a doll in that. There's so many good movies. The Pursuit of Happiness was excellent. Concussion, I saw that was excellent. So many. But my life is not as together as it seems. And that's one of the things, trying to put together, an image I think is really big. Showing he's got it together. He's done so many great things and so forth. So what else is he feeling? And stuff. Now, I've got the card, I Regret Lying to You. This is what it kind of makes me feel. That has to do with the slap. That has to do with the slap, and that has to do with the whole thing. Okay, that I feel everything is exactly what the first card says. My life is not together as it seems. I regret lying to you. I feel what he is saying is, I have tried to portray an image to the world that I have it all together. Okay, that everything is real good. But I kind of lied to you, the public, my fans. I didn't have it together. My marriage was falling apart behind the seams. I tried to make it look like everything is beautiful. My family is perfect. And I kind of regret it. I should have been more real about myself and maybe things that are going on before certain things caught up in me and I got dragged. Okay, so I feel actually that I regret lying to you card is that the image. He almost feels like it's been so hard to keep up appearances that it's been painful for him. One of the cards that he is saying, and this makes me feel the relationship with Jada, you and I were too young. Okay, so kind of his higher self, kind of tuning into his spirit, you and I were too young. Absolutely, they married pretty young there, didn't they? And stuff. And maybe there's something in Will that was kind of a rush. I love this one. I want to get married. There was definitely an eagerness to get a family going on. And Jada, she kind of went along with, but definitely, obviously, her heart's, maybe it was somewhere else, and maybe she wasn't ready. But apparently I did watch some things that her mom kind of talked her into it. And she, of course, was pregnant at the time they got married. So that was a big one. Now, what did I think he wants to say, I wish I could take back the slap. But he also says, I wish I could take back my words. Okay, so also keep your wife's name, that I'm not going to have a card that says I wish I could take back the slap. I think really the slap and the words and the whole fiasco, I wish I could take it back. So I feel that is acknowledging that Will Smith is sorry about the entire event that happened. He wishes he could take it back. Absolutely perfect card for that. And I'm gonna pull one more for him, and then we'll talk about Jada. Finding out the truth crushed me. Oh, that's big. And especially about the affair, okay? So I do feel this wasn't just, oh, by the way, do you mind? When it hit him, it crushed him. Okay? So, I know he's tried, I was fine with it. We were separate. There's various little bits, but finding out the truth crushed me. Okay, so that's a little bit of, tuning into Will Smith's higher self and how he feels. I love this deck. This is very powerful, isn't it? And so the next one is Jada. How does she feel? I hope that you can forgive me one day. So I actually feel when it comes to affair and things like that, even though she's kind of she may be justifying outwardly to the public, but I do feel she harbors some kind of guilt there. Okay? Now, this kind of makes me feel a little bit with Tupac. I will wait for a sign from you. So I feel like she looks for signs from him on the other side. That's what that kind of makes me feel. Now, this is very interesting, though. I also get the card, I am afraid to contact you. So I actually feel that's a Tupac part. That maybe there is something that she's thought about. Maybe she's thought about before a medium read or a connection or getting a message or this or that. Maybe she's afraid of the pain that come out. I have to think about it that Jada has got at least one time in her life has got to consider it a medium read. I swear she has to have at least once. And I feel that she would, I could see her being afraid of that. Just the emotion that would come out if somebody could really connect and they were actually able to connect with his spirit and so forth. I can only imagine what would come forward. The tears that would come out of that and stuff. And you know what? Spirit's kind of talking about the Tupac. We will be together again. So it does make me feel she is focused. That's kind of where some of her focus and her heart is. Okay, because obviously she's together with Will, but she's there. Her sights are there. Okay. I also got the card. I remember every detail of that day. Oh damn! No, she's talking about Tupac, her higher self, spirit, and everything. And that's the day he died. I remember every detail of that day. Except that actually makes me very sad. I could feel tears in my eyes for that. And that's sometimes what happens in a connection. I could feel some tears in that. This woman is not a narcissist. I remember when I did the read a couple years ago. Okay. For Jada and Will. I know she's not treated him very well, but this is a broken woman. Okay. It's almost like he gets the brunt of that. He kind of gets the brunt of not being Tupac. Okay. But she is a broken woman. This is where her heart has always been. And that's kind of what I felt. And stuff. But just looking at some of this, she ain't even talking about Will. All this, when I'm connected with the higher self and everything, and the messages to try to deepen her soul, I remember every detail of that day. She's talking about the death of Tupac. Okay. She lives in the past. Okay. But she does have the card, I wish I had treated you better. There does seem to be some acknowledgement, okay, that she, on a deeper level, does realize that there are times that she is not treated well right. That she's maybe gone too far, not treating him right. I feel there is some regret. I'm not saying she regrets all of it, though. I still feel she blames a little. Okay. I still feel she blames a little. Will, like, you didn't do this, right? That, there's some beating up there. Okay. But I'm not getting, and I know some of you may shocked. I know some of you don't like her. Okay. But I'm getting this. This is coming from a broken woman. Okay. Who had her heart broken, that her true love died. That's just the bottom line. She knows she has to go on. She loves her family, this, that, but her true love died. And that's just the bottom line. The one she wanted to really be with. And that's why Spirit was kind of chiming in my ear. If you can't be with the one you love the one you with. And I do feel she tried to do that and stuff. But I also feel Will Smith's pain that he had to, and he has admitted he was jealous of that. He was very jealous of that connection. And I feel he kind of knows it in his heart. He's been competing with that for decades and everything. But that's the really telling cards that I'm trying to get to the feels, of how, the feels there, and the feels all go to Tupac and stuff. And you know what? I'm really not surprised. I'm really not surprised when I tuned in. So no, I will kind of stray away, and it kind of feels like a little bit what I read a couple years ago. I am not condoning her behavior in the way, some things she's done to Will. Be publicly talking about their business and this, and the affair thing, it's like, if you're not happy, leave, and stuff. But, maybe there's just, for whatever reason, it's a little bigger than we could think or understand, why leaving would be a big thing, there. But he's in for the long haul, no matter how painful it is. That's some serious love. But his love for her is definitely real. Okay, I definitely believe he loves her. He would do anything for her, just for whatever reason. That is the woman he loves, period. Okay, no, and it's almost like no matter what she throws at him and stuff, but it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard. But I do feel she's tried to love him. I do feel she has tried. I do feel she's tried, and I do feel she's gone on, and everything. And there is always going to be a kindred connection with them. But as you can see, okay, with the, she lives in the past. Her heart is trapped in the past. That's just the way. And sometimes we have no control over that. We have no control over who we love. That is one thing there. I feel there is a love for Will, but not an in love. But there is, with Tupac, there was a deeper spiritual, once in a lifetime love, kind of special connection. It was and I do believe she's telling the truth. It wasn't a sexual thing. It was something different than that. It was something very different that not everybody gets to experience. So it's tough. It's deep, and it's tough. It's some tough stuff, guys. I feel for both of them and stuff. So, and I wasn't sure how I'd feel. Like, am I going to come out of here being angry at Jada after this read? But you never know what Spirit's going to give you. That's one of the things, some people have said some very harsh things about her. But then when you step back and see, that's the thing, as a reader, you have to kind of step back and look at things on a deeper spiritual level. And what's really happening at the heart and the soul of things. Not just, focus. If you focus on the ego, you get all kinds of crap. But what's really going on here and stuff. So that's some pretty heavy stuff. I hope you enjoy my read. And I'm going to do a second one for Chris Rock in a little bit.